It's VidCon in Melbourne tomorrow, and I'm not in Melbourne yet. I'm in Sydney. We're flying tomorrow morning. Right now, I'm packing. I started packing. There are things there. There are things in my bag. I was gonna do a time lapse of me packing or talk about packing, but I have like 5 videos of me packing. If you wanna watch them, they are in the description. It's always the same. I have a list. I just go through the list and pack the things in the list so I don't forget anything. It always works unless the item is not in the list, which happens sometimes. Some people have been asking me if I'm gonna do a meetup or if I'll be there somewhere where people can meet me, and the answer is yes. I mean, I'll be at VidCon for probably most of the time. If you bump into me, come and say hello. I'm probably not gonna be busy, or probably not. I actually have no expectations whatsoever. I have no idea what to expect. Never been to VidCon before. I don't know what it's gonna be like. But if you do want to meet me, I think Saturday, tomorrow, around 2:30 p.m. somewhere near the venue. I don't know the location yet because I haven't been there. I don't know what's a good place to meet people. Follow me on Twitter if you want to find out, okay? It's at NerdFeliz. I'm also going to announce it on Snapchat and maybe on Instagram. I don't know. Just follow me on some social media of sorts and you're gonna find out. Potentially I'll do something on Sunday as well. I'll be somewhere public where anyone can find me for a specific period of time. One thing I really want to do, and I am bringing equipment for it, is to do a live podcast from VidCon, a live card as an opinion. And the subject I want to talk about is YouTube demonetizing channels. And because I'm going to be at VidCon and there'll be people everywhere, I want to hear other people's opinions. I want to have a conversation. When I arrive there tomorrow, I'm going to find out if that's possible. And if it is possible, I'm going to find a place to do it. I'm taking my microphone, I'm taking my microphone stand, I'm taking cables, I'm taking the minimal amount of equipment that I need to run a live podcast. And if that happens, I will also tell you when and what time. And if you want to participate, you can come and join me. Again, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Snapchat. I might put up something on Instagram for that. Twitter and Snapchat are the best ways of finding out about things like that. I'm also gonna take with me business cards, obviously, and also some stickers. So if you want stickers, come and ask them. This is what they look like. The ones that have a do. Not the one on the top. I can't find any more of those. I think I gave them all away. But if you want a sticker, you need to ask me, because I'm not gonna give away stickers without people asking. I don't have that many, so come quick, come first, and you'll get one or two or three, depending on how many I have. I'm really looking forward to going to VidCon tomorrow. It's gonna be great. I hope it doesn't turn political, because David Dobrik couldn't come because of something that Trump did, and I'm gonna talk about that just before I finish this video. So if you wanna hear my opinion, I'm not gonna be much of my opinion, I just wanna give an objective overview of it and what's going on. But yeah, because he couldn't come, hopefully it's not gonna turn into people, I just hope it's fun and meet lots of people, and yeah. So if you're at VidCon or if you're in Melbourne, I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Otherwise, look out for a video tomorrow, because there will be a video tomorrow. Even though it's a Sunday, I don't usually upload a video, there will be a video. Plus, there might be this live stream that I'm talking about. So make sure you turn my notifications on so you know when things are happening on my YouTube channel, or follow me on Twitter and Snapchat, Instagram, all the kind of stuff, so you can keep up with my insane life. Yeah. Now let's talk about David Dobrik. The reason why David Dobrik cannot come to VidCon Australia is because he can't leave the he can leave the United States, but he can't come back to the United States after he leaves it. And the reason for that is that he's not a citizen, and he doesn't have a green card, he doesn't have a visa, he doesn't have anything. He's basically an illegal immigrant in the United States, at least according to the law. And he's not the only one in that situation. There's 800,000 people in the similar situation than he is. What happened is, in the past, over the years, parents brought their kids to the United States as illegal immigrants, hoping that one day they would find a way to stay in the country. A lot of these kids had no idea what their parents did. I mean, if you're a kid, you don't understand about this kind of things. In fact, David said in his podcast, which is awesome, I listened to that episode, it's so great to hear his perspective on this. I strongly recommend you listen to him talking about this, it's awesome. He mentioned that he only found out when he was 16. His parents told him, you don't have a social security number because you're an illegal immigrant. And he was like, what do you mean I'm an illegal immigrant? I'm American. I've lived my entire life here, which is the situation for a lot of these people. You know, the media talks a lot about children, but it's not really children. They were children when they moved into the United States, but right now they are older. They're like 20, up to I think 33, 30, something like that. And what did Trump do? Well, what did Trump do? Basically what Trump did is he canceled an executive order that President Obama did in 2012. And why did he do that? I'll talk about that later, but let's just start with why this executive order exists in the first place. This is an issue that existed when Obama entered the office in 2009. That there are 800,000 people in the United States that don't have a legal status. They just, it's crazy. So he wanted to solve this problem and give them some way of at least working there or living there, or there are a few options. You give them citizenship, you can give them a green card, which is not really citizenship, so permission to live there and work there. Or you can deport them, which for people who live there their entire lives is a bit crazy. Like, they think they were raised as Americans, right? It's crazy. Although the situation is not that simple. But anyway, Obama wanted to fix that, and he tried to pass a law through Congress because that is the right way to fix the situation. In a republic, like in the United States, there are three distinct branches of government. There's the executive, which makes the laws happen, which enforces the laws. There's the legislature, which writes the laws and creates the laws. And then there are the courts that interpret the laws, and if there's any doubt, they will go and, you know, make sure that the laws are actually being interpreted correctly and they are constitutional. There are many laws, and there's the most important law of the country, which is the Constitution, and the Supreme Court exists to guard the Constitution, to make sure that no one is doing anything that breaches the Constitution. So if the legislatures pass a law that is unconstitutional, that is against the Constitution, that law is going to be made invalid by the Supreme Court, or at least most likely. And Obama was in office for three and a half years before he did this executive order saying that these people have amnesty. And for the three and a half years that he was there, he was talking about he can't do it by himself because he doesn't have the power to make laws, which is correct. He even said what I just said in a speech, that there are three different branches of government, and it's checks and balances. You can't just have a president that just decides this is what's going to happen now without... That's how tyranny happens, okay? If you give a lot of power to one person, that's what happens. And you might like Obama and you think, oh, well, he's fine, he can do it. But then what if now Donald Trump is the president? Can he do that too? You see, for a country to succeed, institutions need to be preserved. You can't just run past the whole procedure because you think, no, but this is good for people. It doesn't matter if it's done in a tyrannic way. No. It doesn't work like that. And Obama knew that because he mentioned that many times. And then he got fed up because in 2010, the majority of the Congress was Republican, so he couldn't pass this amnesty law that he wanted to pass. Why he didn't try to pass that law between 2008 and 2010 when there was a majority Democrat there? I don't know. Maybe you know the answer. Please let me know. But anyway, he got fed up and he decided to take the matter to his own hands and write an executive order, which is not the right way of doing this. And in the executive order, there were basically two things. The first thing is he said the Department of Justice is not going to prosecute those people who were illegals, the dreamers they call. And that's fine. He can do that because the Department of Justice is subject to the executive branch of the government. So he can say to the Department of Justice, I don't want you to prosecute these people. I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do that. That's potentially fine. But then he also decided to give these people papers to say you have permission to work. And that's something that he can't. A lot of people argue that he can't do because it's against the Constitution. You need to pass a law in order to give people a document, in order to give people a paper that is valid in the country. If I were in that position, I would be concerned because I know that this kind of executive order wouldn't give me a lot of security. And I mean that if this is questioned in the Supreme Court, it will probably be cancelled. And then here we come to what Trump did, which was revert the executive order that President Obama did. And he didn't really revert exactly. What he did is he froze it and then said you have up to this date to renew or to apply, and if you do, you have 6 months of safety, of amnesty. And then he said, and he's still changing his mind, I don't know what he's doing, he's you never know, he's one day with the Republicans, the other day with the Democrats, go figure. But he said to the Congress, now it's your turn to make into a law or not, to decide what to do with the dreamers. Because, well, that's the way it should have been done from the beginning. Not as an executive order, but as a law. The only problem with that is that when he froze it, people couldn't travel anymore. It's not that people can't leave. They can leave the country. It's just that they can't come back. The way that it worked until 2 days, 1 day ago, is that if you were a dreamer and you wanted to leave the country, you needed to ask for permission, and the government will give you permission, and then you leave and then you come back. But this is frozen for the next 6 months or until the Congress passes a law. And yeah, it's quite frustrating for people in that situation. It's a very unstable situation from the beginning. Even with the executive order that Obama did, it's very unstable. In fact, I hear that there were 3 courts, federal courts, that were about to judge this or are going to judge soon, and the fact is that it will probably be rejected because it's unconstitutional. But it does put people in a pretty crazy situation. They wake up one day and they can't even ask for permission to travel. Not a good place to be in, to be honest. I hope this was presented in a somewhat objective way. If I missed anything, please let me know. Please write a comment. Please clarify the situation. And now here's the problem. What to do with them? It's not 10,000 people, it's not 1,000 people, it's 800,000 people who don't even know where they came from. I mean, they know where they came from, but some of them never been to their country where their parents came from. And there are a few ways of looking into it, and it's not, in my opinion, it's not a straightforward answer. You could say give them all amnesty, give them all citizenship, which gives them power to vote. It's like as if they were Americans. Or the other option is give them a green card, which gives them permission to live there and work there for as long as they want. It's not as safe as citizenship because I think with a green card you can probably be deported. To be honest, I'm not sure, but I think probably. Or the other option is give them temporary visas, give them a different type of visa, or deport them. And I think that deporting them is probably not the best solution for anyone. But as I said, it's not that simple. There is a problem with giving them citizenship, for example, or even a green card. The problem is that countries that are great and successful generally follow the rule of law. Like there's a law that says this is how it should be, and it's generally followed for everyone, independently of who they are. Countries where the law is not followed are generally not successful because people have no incentive to do the right thing. They have no incentive to follow the law. I'm from Brazil, and I can tell you for a fact that in Brazil, people who follow the law and do everything right by the books sometimes struggle really hard to get anywhere. And then you see people who bribe officials, who do illegal things, and they never get caught. And they get, it's really frustrating. That's the reason why people don't open businesses, because they know that if they want to be successful, they have to do illegal things, and maybe they don't want to do it. It's really frustrating. I would personally not want to move and live in a country where the rule of law is not followed. And I think the reason why the parents of this 800,000 kids moved to the United States is because it was a great country, a country where the law is followed, a country that is prosperous, a country where they can find jobs, a country where they can grow economically if they work hard. They probably didn't want to go to a country where your success depends on who you bribe or how rich you are, and you can manipulate the government and manipulate the courts. And probably not. And what some people argue is that if you give them amnesty, it will give an incentive for other people to move there with their kids, hoping that in the future they will get amnesty as well. You know, if it happened once, why would it happen again? And in my opinion, the US Congress is stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. It's not as simple. It's not a simple problem to solve. But yeah, that was my little Carlos has an opinion in a short format and not live and not in a podcast. And hopefully more objective than my Carlos has an opinions are, because I'm generally quite subjective and my opinions are generally like, this is what I think, blah. If you think I made a mistake, if you think I said something that is not correct, please leave a comment, explain it. Or if you just think I'm playing wrong and I should die, you can write that too. Just be nice, don't swear, you know, there's other people who read the comments there too. I honestly don't care if you say terrible things about me, but just don't offend other people. Alright, now I'll go back to packing because I have to catch a flight tomorrow at 8 AM, need to be at the airport really early. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you for listening to my quick explanation about DACA and my rant. And there was not much of a rant though, it was just literally me talking about the situation. See you tomorrow in a video, or see you tomorrow at VidCon in Melbourne, which by the way it's gonna be today because this video is gonna be uploaded and released on the day of VidCon. So see you today if you're a VidCon and you're watching this video.